I managed today to get the fridge that I wanted to get. Brass Monkey one. It was able to fit just, if you can see in there, it butts right up against the glove box. And I've got some little chocks underneath it. Let's see if I can show you down here. There you go. A couple of caravan chocks underneath there. And to make it fit even better, took the wheels off. The wheels were under there and it didn't fit quite as well. Well, it pressed harder against the glove box, I guess. Now, that's great. I'm really, really happy with that. It's perfect. So let me actually show you this fridge. I'm pretty stoked with it. Now, the reason I wanted this is because it is a dual zone fridge. And I have really wanted to get something with a freezer in it, like a separate freezer, so that I can keep maybe some frozen veggies and also frozen berries for use in smoothies and ice cream. Not that we have ice cream all that often, but it's nice to have the option, right? Yes, and all the dual zone fridges I'd come across were really, really large, like sort of minimum would have been like 50 litres. The fridge I had before, which I've still got, I'm planning to sell it once I've established that this is working for me. The one that I have been using previously is 28 litres. That has been pretty much plenty of room for us. We don't need to carry a lot of stuff that needs refrigeration. Being vegan, I don't carry fresh meat or raw meat or anything like that. And most of the veggie-based stuff, it takes a lot longer to get to the point where it's going to make you sick. So there's a big advantage there. So a lot of the stuff that we carry doesn't even need the fridge. The main things we want to keep cold is some cold water to drink and milk for like my iced chocolate that I make, stuff like that. So this here, this is Brass Monkey. This is the brand. It is kind of like a budget brand. Well, not budget as such. It is cheaper in some areas, but it seems the quality of the parts that really matter is still there because it comes with a 3-year warranty, which is not bad for a fridge. That is as good value as this one. You can see the areas where they've sort of, made it a bit cheaper. Like, let me see if you can see that. On the edges here, it's a little bit rough around the handles. Little things like that. Also, there's no latch for the fridge. It basically just uses sort of tension of the seal around the outside here to sort of hold it into place. So no latch, you just shove it down. Here are the other things. So these are the two sections. This thing slides out and you can have it as all fridge. Maybe all freezer as well. I can't quite remember. I just really like to read the instructions first to make sure I'm not missing anything. I know plenty of people just get in there and don't give a crap, but I really like to make sure I'm not missing anything because sometimes there's important information. Like, for instance, this one says, ensure that the left zone is on before the partition is removed to operate in single zone mode. If the left zone is turned off and the partition is removed, then the compressor will not turn on. So, that's kind of like important to know because if I had done something like that, I'd go, oh my God, the fridge is broken. But yeah, so because I read the instructions, I now know, because that would have been a bit of panic inducing. Otherwise going, it's dead, it's not working. So when you have it as fridge and freezer, this side, which has the compressor down the bottom there, so there's slightly less room, is the freezer side, and this side is the fridge side. That means there's probably slightly less room in the freezer side, which I'm fine with. I think with the amount of stuff that we want to fit in the fridge, it is going to be smaller than the entire 28 litres of the Dometic fridge, the one I've been using previously. But I think it will be okay because a lot of the stuff that I've been keeping in the fridge, I would have preferred to be keeping in the freezer anyway if I had the option. So I think this is going to work well. I really think it's going to work well. I've plugged it in and I'm going to turn it on now just to make sure it's all working fine. I tipped it up yesterday to remove the wheels, and the instructions say that it's quite important to leave it sitting for 6 hours after it's been moved around. So I thought I'd better do that. I didn't want to risk damaging it. All right, what do we got? How to turn on the fridge, connect to power, press and hold power button for 3 seconds. That makes sense. Where are we? There's only the one power button. Oh, turning my battery on could help. All right, can I reach it under here? Yes, I can. This is good. Ah, there we go. That works better. Oh, the other cool thing about this is my Dometic. The models larger than the one I have a Bluetooth thing, so you can see what temperature the fridge is when you're nearby without having to sort of look at the actual display. My fridge did not have the Bluetooth option, whereas all of the larger ones in the Dometic range did. But this one actually has a Bluetooth option. All right, so let's try this now. Excuse this cable here. Let's move that so it's out of the way. Hold power button for 3 seconds. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. Hear the fan kick in. As expected, this is not quite as quiet as my Dometic. It is a cheaper fridge, so, you know, that's kind of to be expected. But I think I can live with that. With the Dometic, and probably what will happen with this too, is that with it on the seat here, when we sleep, my head is just behind this seat. And it makes the vibrations go through the seat right near my head. So I have actually got used to that now, and it doesn't wake me anymore like it used to. So I think this will be okay. So we're going to set the temperature. Here we go, instructions. Oh yes, and you can turn off this section completely if you want to save power. It's a max setting. I don't think I need that. I don't need to cool it down really fast. Connect to power, press and hold the power button. Internal temperature display, and the compressor will start. Only one internal temperature will display if the zone divider is removed. The divider is in place. Oh, it has little I can see my hands lighting up there. It's got a little LED light too, which is not bad for a cheap fridge. Yeah, I don't know if I finished what I was saying before. The size of fridges that have dual zone that I'd seen, the smallest that I'd come across, that the smallest I thought was available, was about 50 litres, which is a hell of a lot bigger than my Dometic. And there's no way I would be able to fit this in the front seat for starters. I could fit it in the back of the car, but we need the entire back of the car to be available for us to live and or sleep. So having the fridge in the back is not really an option. So it needed to fit in the front. So when I went to Jaycar sell these, I was asking about them because I was considering, I saw the little 15 litre ones that they had in the Brass Monkey range, and I thought, well, maybe I could put two side by side, one fridge, one freezer. And then the guy said, you can actually get a dual zone. I went, well, no, it's probably going to be too big. And he showed me this one, and this is 36 litres. Yes, 36 litres. I did not know you could get a dual zone that was this small. And so I asked the guy there, and he carried it, the one on display, he carried it down for me, and we managed to fit it in the front of the car. And I realized then that it was a possibility, because I knew it was going to be close. I got the measurements off the spec sheet that the dude there gave me, and I measured it, and it was like, oh, it's either going to be just fitting or it's going to be just too big. And it was a case of needing to actually try and put the car in the seat, and that's what I did, and I was absolutely stoked that it fit. All right, let's set the temperature. Setting temperature, right zone. I think, oh, it also says the temperature of the left zone cannot be set lower than it of the right zone, So that means the right zone has to be freezer. So the right zone, and it's got little shapes here to indicate which is which. This is the little, see that little symbol there? It looks like it's got a little step in it, which is this. So that is the right zone. So this with freezer. So do I hold it down or just press it? Oh, it's already quite cold. Okay, so let's go minus 15. And the left zone, it's on 0. This one will require a bit of testing because sometimes with the 12 volt fridges, or at least in my experience so far of the entire 12 volt fridge that I've had before this one, you need to keep the temperature a little bit lower than what you want it to end up at, because it sort of gives you a variance of about sort of 3 or 4 degrees. So if you keep it down a bit lower, then it'll give you the actual temperature that you want. It makes sense that this side is the freezer, because if that's the compressor, then the little coldy bits, that's the technical name, will probably be closer to here, to the compressor, and therefore will have the ability to keep this area colder. I don't really know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm theorizing in my mind. So, who knows? Yeah, anyway, I can feel it's getting cold. That's good. So it's definitely working. What I want to do is I've got a temperature gauge in here somewhere, which I put somewhere special where I wouldn't lose it, which is always a bad idea. Found my temperature gauges. And I've checked how much draw this is making on the battery, and it's 3.5 amps so far while the compressor is going. What do we got here? We are -1 on the fridge side. I don't know if you can see that with the reflections there, and we're at 7 on the freezer side. So I've got this temperature gauge here, and I'm going to detach. I'll just put it into the freezer side. I suppose I could put the other one in the other side too. Whoops. Let's stick that in there. The other thing I like about this is it's lower. This sits sort of lower by about that much, I think. And that means potentially when Alexis's car seat back here is across the top to keep it out of the way so we can sleep in the back, there'll be a bit more room to access everything in here. The temperature is getting there. Fridge side is mostly where it needs to be. The one on the right, it says it's -13 so far, and I set it to -15, so it's almost there. And I think I'll check the little thermometer temperature gauges that I put in there too. What do we got? Inside, 11.7. I think this is just not used to it yet, because it's obviously colder than 11 degrees in there. And the outside one says 10.3. I guess it's taking a while to catch up. But in the meantime, I'll keep it running for a bit longer so I can double check that it is functioning as it should before I go and travel anywhere with it. As soon as I cut the camera, then the compressor turned off. So it's reached the temperature. We've got -15 and 3. I can't remember whether I set it to 3. I think I set it to 0. But it reckons it's reached temperature. My temperature gauges obviously have not reached the temperature that it reckons it is in there. But it feels quite cold on the top. You can get covers that go on these, but I don't think I'm going to bother with this one. Because I don't know. I just found the cover on the other one to be slightly annoying. The other one being more expensive, I wanted to take a little bit of extra care to make sure it didn't get scratched and stuff. Whereas this one, being a cheaper model, its resale value isn't going to be as high anyway if I ever choose a different one. So, I don't know. And the other reason is that it will take up a little bit of extra room if... Oh, there we go. It's kicked back on again. So, yeah, it'll take up a bit of extra space in the car here, and it is a very perfect fit. So I don't want to add any extra on here. Now that it's reached temperature, mostly, I changed it to eco mode, and it seems to be drawing like 0 amps, or not enough to register on the BMS. So that's good. And also, when the compressor was on max, it was drawing less than before. It was drawing 2.8 instead of 3-ish. So that's not bad. It'll be interesting to see the overall draw of this and see how it compares with the Dometic. I suspect it won't be quite as economical on power, but now that I have the solar battery connected to the car so that it can charge when I drive, power consumption is going to be less of a tricky situation. I don't have to be quite so careful about how much power we use with various things. So that's good. That makes it a lot easier. I left the Brass Monkey fridge running for probably just under 24 hours, or maybe around 24 hours. There's nothing in it, but and of course I didn't open it because it was just sitting in the car. And definitely there is some condensation happening on the outside that was mentioned in the instructions, and reading it in the instructions did make me wonder if that would be an issue that I would face, which makes sense why they'd mention it. I was determined not to get a cover for this, but I'm rethinking that now, because if I get the cover, in theory, that would stop this condensation happening. You can see it on the top there. It's also on the other side, in this similar position here. I don't know. I might go and check out the cover some point soon and see if I think it's going to add too much thickness or whatever. I guess there's only one way to find out, which is to take a look at it. Yeah, we'll see. Got the cover. It was $100, which seems a lot when the fridge itself was $400. But it's going to save me faffing around with putting some sort of waterproof thing on the seat to make sure that the condensation dripping down doesn't cause issues with the seat. So, and in summer it'll be better having the cover on when the car's getting really hot. So I guess it's worth the hassle. I recorded this video originally back in July, and I've been using the Brass Monkey fridge on and off since that time. When I first got it, I left it on with some things in it for probably a good month solid inside the house, and it was working really well. I've been using it as an overflow for my own freezer inside the house when I've run out of space in the freezer. And yeah, with all the use that I've given it over that time, it's been working like an absolute champ. I'm really glad I got it because it's been working so well, and I'm really impressed. I'm also pleased that I bought the cover for it because it's been working well also. It's not quite as good quality as the Dometic cover, but it's not bad. And overall, I'm really happy with my purchase. So yeah, there you go. That gives you a good idea of my thoughts on the Brass Monkey fridge. All right, I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.